Hello, my name is Sergeant Jim Wagner. Currently, I'm a police officer in the United States, and I've been in law enforcement for 15 years. Last year, I served as a counterterrorist for the federal government of the United States, and I did a year of counterterrorism, and now I'm back into the police work. My current position is training as an instructor for defensive tactics for police, as well as a firearms instructor, and I'm on my department's tactical team. What we're going to talk about today are chokeholds and how to get out of various headlocks and other ways that a suspect may try to get a hold of a police officer. Obviously, when anyone tries to get a hold of a police officer and grab a hold of him, there's a dangerous situation. His gun could be taken, his baton, her baton, whatever. It's a very critical situation. And of course, anytime anyone puts their arms around somebody's neck, and especially a police officer, that is what we call lethal force. Now, there are various types of force, and this is something even civilian martial artists need to know. The first one, of course, would be command presence. What is command presence? It means the very fact that I'm in a police uniform or I am a police officer, that should make a suspect stop. Another one is verbal communications. That's the next level of force. As a police officer, if I tell a suspect, stop, don't move, legally he should obey me. However, that doesn't always work. The next level of force, the third one, would be what we call injury force or impact force. This is where a police officer can use their baton in order to injure somebody. Obviously, that's not the goal. The goal is to stop a suspect. But you may have to injure someone with your impact weapons. And of course, the final one is what we call lethal force. Lethal force is when a suspect has the intention to hurt you physically with great bodily injury or even kill you. You have to return, obviously, the force, and you may have to use lethal force. Lethal force, you may end up having to kill the suspect or injure the suspect severely. That is not your intention, of course. Your intention is to stop him. What we're going to talk about today is, of course, chokeholds, somebody trying to get around your neck. What kind of force is that? Well, the suspect is going to cut off my air supply, and that means obviously I could end up dead, or the police officer who has this happen to them. So, what kind of force do I need to respond with? Lethal force. We're going to go over various techniques with my assistant, Constable Chris Saint-Jacques from Canada, and we will show you how to survive. The things I'm going to show you today are standard throughout the world as far as police tactics. So let's follow along. All right, as we get started, we're going to talk about chokeholds. And the first thing you need to know is the ABCs. Just like in first aid throughout English-speaking countries, A would be open the airway, B would be breathing, and C would be circulation in the heart. We also have what I created, the ABCs of getting out of a chokehold. A is the first thing, just like first aid, you have to open up your airway. No matter what, you have to breathe. If you don't breathe and you get your air cut off or your circulation cut off, you could be passed out within 4 seconds, 5 seconds, and you're going to die. B, it would be break. You need to break away from the hold. That's your second priority. And the third one would be C, which would be counter or countermeasures. You need to fight back to get away from him. So A, open up your airway. B, break away from him. And C, countermeasures or get away from him. That could mean escape or it could mean fight him, take him down, arrest him, whatever the situation may be. Now, I have a subject here who's going to attack me. I may be a police officer writing a ticket. I might be in a situation, a detective interviewing him. I might be doing a lot of things. When a suspect attacks me, too many times a police officer wants to go for their gun right away, and not all the time is it going to work. You don't always have time. If he suddenly puts his hands on my throat, going for my gun, I might not have enough time because he could break my neck or break my larynx and I'm dead. So you always have to react first. So the first technique I'm going to show you is just somebody trying to choke you. He gets his hands around me and he's a very large person. Now there's many martial arts techniques and many people do a lot of things, but the first thing you have to do is open your airway. So, he's choking me, you take your armpit, you come over the side. He doesn't have enough strength. Try to choke hard. He doesn't have enough strength to hold on. I'm using my entire body and I'm pushing his arms out of the way. This forces him to move with me. Once I turn, his body is out of the way. His hands are below me. Now, of course, I have a good elbow. I have a good punch. I can do anything I want. But I don't want to wrestle with this person because I have my weapon that he can take. So it should be, he has me, turn, hit, punch, back off, then pull your weapon once you secure the situation. Now I'll try one fast and I'll try one full speed. I'm going to talk with him like I would a suspect. Sir, I saw the bruise on her face and... And it would be like that. You never know when the attack is coming, but once it does, if you keep practicing this, whether it's with your left arm or right arm, you'll get good with it. All right, you may find yourself where you have a wall behind you. Obviously, even more dangerous because now the suspect has you pinned and he can put more force on you. When we were standing out in the middle, of course, I have room to at least walk away. Now I have nowhere to go. And the harder he pushes, especially a big person like this, he can crush my larynx instantly. That's why if he has me up against the wall, I don't want to try fancy karate stuff. I don't want to do anything that's going to cause him, if it fails, I could be dead within a second. That's why this technique has to work the first time. So he has me up against the wall slowly. It's actually better for you because now you have this wall supporting you. You turn and you push away your whole body. Once you do that, you have your elbow. You have whatever technique you want. It doesn't matter. I could end up doing this, going for the eyes. Whatever your martial arts experience dictates. So we're going to do it one time, full speed. He's going to actually try to choke me. Now obviously, for safety reasons, we have to be careful with each other, but he will do it hard, so he doesn't cheat me from my training. We want to know if it really works. And as you can see, I was able to get out of it. To do now are various attacks using, traditionally they're called headlocks. I don't like the term headlock because that just sounds like kids playing like, I just got a hold of him and I'm not letting him go. However, when a suspect has you by the head, has you by the neck, that is a choke. And a choke, of course, is lethal force. Now, in this case, he's going to bend over and obviously he'll be doing this to me. But if I were the attacker, this is what we call strangulation by elongation. Now, we could be fighting, however we end up here, this is a very dangerous situation. Why? Because this spine could be snapped. And if I suddenly sit down and I go down, it will break his neck. He only has a second to react. Obviously, we have to follow the ABCs of a chokehold. airway, break, and countermeasure. So I'll walk you through this. He gets me into a headlock like so. Now obviously I only have a second to react, so the first thing I have to do is try to open my airway. But I turn my head towards him so he only has one side of my jugular vein. And I want to clear my throat. So put your head right into him. The next thing you need to do is grab the leg, whatever leg is in front of you. Just grab it. Then from here, you go forward. You just dive into him. And as you do, your head will come out. My knee can end up here. I'm all over him. And of course, I'm going to back up and get away from this person. So let's try it again. I'll do it slow, step at a time. Here we go. He puts me in the headlock. Open up the airway. Immediately drop your center of gravity. Grab. Before he has a chance to sit down, drive into him. Now, if I fall on him, just fall on him. Do whatever it takes. Then escape, countermeasures. Tell him, give him commands, roll over, whatever the situation may be. All right, we're going to do the same thing, strangulation by elongation. This time we're going to do it full speed. It makes no difference whether it's his left side or his right side, how he grabs you. It's always going to be the same technique. That is, once he has your head, open your airway. Turn your head towards his body. Grab whatever leg is closest to you. Run in, push him down, fight, escape, and go for your weapon. So we're ending up wrestling, whatever. He gets me. And that's it. This next one, now the suspect is no longer in front of me, but now he's to my right side. He has a couple options. One of them is to grab my neck and get me into a classical headlock or chokehold. Now, when he does that, again, ABCs apply. As he comes into it, of course, he's going to lock his arms. I want to turn my chin towards his chest so he only has one side of my neck. Now, I have to open up the airway, right? However, I have enough air with only one side of my neck, so I'm not too worried about it. If you feel you're not strong enough, then you can use a hand and pull away. You only need one hand. Now, or you can hit, but there's not too many targets. You only have the groin. So either you grab or you hit. Once you do, immediately come over. Grab for the face, reach for the face. The problem is, if he turns away, he's too big. So, if that happens, if this happens where you cannot reach his face, because I want to go for his eyes, I want to pull him back. And if this doesn't happen, then I will grab his shirt, all right? Then I'll pull back. So from here, I take my leg, I push it here, I pull back. His head hits the ground. In this case, it would be concrete or the street. Then I can come in, hit, do whatever I need to do, and get away from this man, escape. All right, what we're going to do now is do it full speed. Now, of course, one thing I forgot to mention, whenever you're practicing these techniques, and especially around the neck area, always go 3/4 strength. Don't ever go full strength, full contact. Not in training, or else you're going to have an injury. So anyway, he's going to come around, get me by the neck. I'm going to open my airway. I'm going to hit him, or I could grab him, reach over his shoulder, go for the eyes, pull him back. So here we go. We're going to do it again, but this time I want you to see what it looks like from the back. Okay, so he grabs me. I try to reach over. I try to grab his eyes, and I try to pull back. Or, if that doesn't work, I can't reach, I will grab his shirt. Then I take my leg, put it here, go back. Of course, when I really do this, I'm slamming him hard. Plus my elbow will be directly in the center of his spine. What this is going to do is knock the wind out of him. And of course that's going to create shock to his nervous system and to his respiratory system. Of course that buys me a second. It buys me a second in what we call the OTA process. Observe, orient, decide, act. Because I've slowed down his OTA process, that gives me a second to counterattack, get up, get to my weapon. Now, if you don't have a sidearm, what is your option? Your option is to fight and run and escape. For a civilian, that's the best thing to do. Now what we're going to do is we're going to have Chris attack me on my left side. Last time he attacked me on my right side. The technique is the same. Just because he's on another side doesn't mean all of a sudden I think and I reverse. I go, how does this work? No, it has to be the same principles every time. So, he's on my left side. He gets me into a headlock. It's the same thing. Turn my head towards his body. I could even bite with my mouth onto his skin if I needed to. I could use my hand to try to get more air, or I can hit. Immediately reach over, grab the eyes, pull back, and just keep pulling back until he's on the ground. Once he is, then you come out and you escape, or you take him down like a police officer with your gun. Another variation of this technique, which I learned from one of the reality-based instructors in Canada, James Prue. He taught this to me and I thought it was a very good technique and worth mentioning. He's going to get me into a headlock, and obviously this is before he has a chance to squeeze and lock your head in place. And this is a way of pushing out. So I'll do it slowly. He grabs my neck. I put my hand on his back right here. Then I put my hand on his elbow, and all at once I push, and it forces him forward. Now, we'll do the same thing. He gets me in a headlock. I put my hand on my back, I put my hand here, and now I push off, and of course that buys me enough time. Now obviously that's only if you have that moment where you can do it before he's actually locked it down. All right, the next thing that Chris is going to demonstrate is he's going to give me a bear hug. He's going to try to hold me, pick me up, whatever the situation may be. But obviously, a big guy like this can easily wrap his arms around me. We're going to do it two ways. One is where my arms are up, and the second one will be where my arms are trapped. Now, he comes in for the attack. I might be talking with someone else, and he comes in for the attack. Now, obviously, perfect situation for you. The only problem is, if you don't react quick enough, he's going to grab your gun. So immediately, you have your arms free. Right away, go for the spine, go for here. Get him away as quick as you can, and go for your weapon. Keep it close if he's close. If he's close, keep it close. If he moves away, then you can take aim and launch the attack. Now, again, full speed. Maybe I'm talking, maybe I'm writing. He comes up to attack me. Drop your gravity. Open your legs so he can't push you up. And if he tries to pick me up, before he does, just keep hitting him. Then push him away. Go for the weapon. On the next one. Now, how do I deal with it if he traps my arms? I have no arms to reach. The groin, it might not stop him. If he's on drugs, a groin hit might not do anything. And plus, it's a dangerous situation, because if he picks me up, what am I going to do? So, right away, drop your center of gravity. Push your arm out. This creates a space between you and him. Don't worry about hitting him. It's not going to work. As fast as you can, bring your arm out. You're going to hit him in the chin. Then you can do whatever you want and deal with him. So, when you practice this, you got to do it slow, because he can be injured very quickly. So, as I'm talking, he comes up and he grabs me. Right away, move, and you're going to create that space, and you're going to throw your arm up as fast as possible. If you don't hit him in the chin, don't worry about it. You're just trying to get your arm free. Once you have your arm free, you can go for the eyes, you can go for a hit. So now we're going to try at full, well, 3/4 speed, 3/4 contact. And that's how the technique looks. Okay, what I have now is Ruben here, and Ruben's going to help me out. Now, I picked him because he's the same size as me, and obviously this is, some attacker is going to be the same size, if not larger. Now, the problem is I'm coming from behind, and once I get a hold of him, the problem is he is very vulnerable. Now, some things can happen. If he's an amateur, he's going to grab and just try to hold you. If he's professional, maybe he was trained by special forces, by an army somewhere in the world, he's going to come around and he's going to get him into a special forces lock. Now he's going to have a hard time, and it only takes a moment to snap his neck, and even if I can't snap his neck, he's going to have no air supply. Another thing, which is very bad, is I might come behind him, grab him, pull him back, and now I snap his neck, and now I go forward. And now he's going to get extremely injured. So, we're going to talk about how to escape from this kind of chokehold. All right, this time we have Chris behind me, and now we're going to go over the chokeholds. This is a more realistic situation because now we have a big guy who's going to come and get me. So we'll do it a step at a time. He's going to come behind and wrap his arms around my neck. Now obviously, I don't know whether he's right-handed or left-handed. You can't pick. Your opponent decides that. In this case, with my peripheral vision, I can see that he used his right arm because I can see the large extension of his arm to his shoulder. Now, the problem is, if I try any kind of martial arts technique, by the time he squeezes me, that's it. There's no time to react. I will end up passing out within 2 or 3 seconds if he just got a good grip. First rule, airway. So the first thing I want to do before he picks me up is drop and get some air. And you want to turn your neck into his arm. So that way he can't lift up on your neck. So I grab, open the airway, I turn. The problem is there's nothing to hit. There's no way. So whenever you come from behind, the best thing to do is get behind him. All right? Now, for example, if he comes up and he's about to choke me, now obviously before he gets his arm around me, I want to turn into the direction. But in this case, he got me before I can turn. So open the airway, tuck your chin. Now here's the rule. Step behind your opponent. Just go in the direction of his arm and step behind him. That's all you have to do. You don't have to do anything perfect. Take your hand, reach it around, slam him down. It's better now because now I have more options and now I can come out of it. So let's do that again. I'm here. He comes up, grab, open the airway, step behind, throw him, and you can see he's more concerned about protecting his head. For that second, he forgot about the choke. Now from here, whatever it takes, get away from him and draw down on him. Now, like I said, I'm too simple-minded when it comes to combat. Gross motor skills, whatever works at the first moment. 1 or 2 techniques, that's it. Now he's going to come up from behind, grabbing me with his left arm. It's the same technique. Open your airway, step behind him, counterattack. There's nothing more than that. So he's going to do it 3/4 speed. That's it. To make this drill more realistic, now what we're going to do is I'm going to let my attacker come up, get me from behind, and this time I don't know if he's going to use his right arm. I don't know if he's going to use his left arm. Makes no difference to me. I'm just going to go with it. I'm going to let him wrap his arms around me, and then I'm just going to react. Okay, here we go. Okay, one of the techniques that I learned when I was training the police in Mexico is what happens if someone grabs you, but they don't want to stand there. They want to pull you backwards. Obviously, the goal is to pull you backwards, so eventually they get you sitting on your butt, and then they put their weight of their chest on your neck, and they break your neck. So what do you do in that case? If he pulls me, and he's coming from behind, and he starts going backwards, if I try to do anything, eventually I'm gonna fall and get my neck broken. It's too late. So, what I need to do is once I feel someone pulling me back, what am I gonna do with the first technique anyway? I go with it. It's the same thing. Only this time, I see that he's still going back. I run with him. I catch up to him. So I'll do it slow. I'm standing here. All of a sudden, he's pulling me back. I turn into it, and now look at his arm. His arm is being held tight. I keep going, and now I end up in a situation where he was not expecting me to go with him. And of course, now I can deal with my suspect. We're going to do the same thing again. And just to show you, it doesn't make any difference if it's right-handed or left-handed. All you do, airway, go the direction of the pull. This time we'll go about 3/4 speed. He's going to grab me, and he's going to just start taking me back. His intention is to eventually get his chest on my head and snap my neck. So I'm standing here, maybe I'm talking with someone, and all of a sudden, bad. And that's how fast it is. It's very rapid, and you have to have quick decision-making abilities. On this next technique, the suspect is going to come up from behind and basically give me a big bear hug. He's going to lock my arms where now I can't defend myself. So for example, he comes up behind and he wraps his arms around me. I have no way to turn. I can't step behind him because by the time I'm going to step behind him, but I can't do any kind of kicks. It won't be effective. I don't really have anything to hit. So in this case, stay locked arm. In this case, all I'm going to do, I want to hold his arms. I want to keep his arms tight to my chest. Now, I'm going to step behind him. Now you can already see, if I just sit down with him, he's going to go. However, I don't need to hold my hands anymore. Now I grab his pants. Now I'm going to lift him up in the air, and I'm going to bring him back, and I'm going to slam him. From here, I have his groin, I have his neck. I get away from this person, draw my weapon. If I'm a civilian, a martial artist, then I will run. I will get away from him or deploy whatever weapon that I carry. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do this about 3/4 speed. He's going to come up, wrap his arms around me, drop center of gravity, hold the arms, step behind, It depends on where he's standing. You may have to step with the other leg, and then just grab his legs, pick him up, and go. So I'm standing here. And that's all there is to it. What we're going to cover now is what we call tackle defense. Usually this is someone who is very large. Maybe they're a rugby player, maybe they're an American football player. And what he's going to do is he's going to try to come in and he's going to reach and he's going to grab me and try to take me down. Obviously, I don't want to be tackled by someone this size or by anybody. So the main thing to do is if they need to tackle you, fortunately their head goes low. So as they come in, grab a hold of that head and push it down. As he continues towards me, just push it to the ground. There's all kinds of things you can do, and then tell him to stop or whatever. If I'm a civilian, I run away. Now, as a police officer, perhaps I'm coming into a room and I'm trying to come in during a raid or a SWAT scenario, and here comes this guy who's going to tackle me. I can't shoot him, so in this case, one arm and force him down and try to get away from him. Now, get back up and go back. The problem is I cannot put my gun away. There's no time. And not only that, he may have a knife or something. Now, another situation would be he's coming in, same principle. Always grab the head or the neck, force him down. But this time, I'm going to do a tactical L. We're going to go off to one side or the other. It makes no difference. So as he's coming down, all I do is I let him go past me, then I get behind him. I can draw my gun or I can run. What we're going to do now is practice 3/4 speed, 3/4 contact. I'm going to let him try to tackle me. I'm going to let him go for it, and then I'm just going to put his head down, move to the side. Actually, it's a pretty easy technique, and it's harder for the attacker to absorb the shock than it is me. So he's coming in. And that's all there is to it. It's just a maneuver. Okay, what we're going to do now is the guy is going to give me a front bear hug. So he comes up to me, and obviously a big guy. I can't get to my weapon. I don't really have too many choices. So what I do is I step into him. I get as close as I can. I grab a hold of him, or I grab his belt. I grab his jacket, whatever I can get a hold of. Of course, I have a headbutt. I could just smash him. Now, I will lift him up and I will turn him in the direction of my rear leg. And I'll push, and I'll come down with him, and I'll do what I can to get off of him, and then draw my weapon. Okay, so we'll show you from a different angle. Again, he comes up, he bear hugs me. I don't have any really room to do anything, so I step into him, grab a hold of his shirt, pants, whatever, headbutt him to shock him, lift him up and over, go down on top of him and hit. Come on up. Now we'll do it just normal speed, 3/4 speed, and take it from there. Now, nothing is textbook perfect. As you can see, I went down, but each time is going to be different. The main thing is the principle. Step into him, lift him up, go on the ground with him, hit as hard as you can, get away. That's the goal. All right, we've covered all the angles where somebody is going to attack you. We've done choke holds and holds from the front, from both sides, and from the rear. However, most martial arts schools, they stop right there, that's it. You got to make it more realistic. You got to make it spontaneous. So here's a drill that I recommend. I just stand here and I close my eyes. I don't know what he's going to do. He is going to position himself anywhere around me, and then when the instructor says go, he's going to attack me and do anything he wants. All right, so I'll show you an example of how this works. So I'm going to set up the situation for what we call spontaneous choke holds. I have an instructor here, I will be the student, and I have my attacker. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to be closing my eyes when my instructor tells me to, and he's going to attack me wherever he wants. That is real combat. Real combat is not stand there and attack me, stand there, because I can prepare for that. Now I want to be totally unprepared. I don't want to know where he's coming from, because I want to be spontaneous. So we're going to do a demonstration, and what we're going to do is usually we do it not just one time, but we'll do like 5 times, and he can change his position each time. So we'll give it a try and see how it works.
Student, close your eyes. Attackers, take a position. Attack!
Okay, now we get in position again. Now I close my eyes.
Student, take a position. Attack!
Now I don't know where he's coming from. I close my eyes again.
Student, take a position. Attack!
Okay, so I don't know where he's coming from. I don't know what he's going to do, but I don't have time to think about it. I just do it. The more you do this exercise, the more it's going to be realistic in a fight. The more you're going to be prepared for making quick decisions. Again, it's okay to break it down and say, come at me this way, come at me this way. But when you're finally done, you have to do stuff like this. And the more you do this, when someone finally does get you, you're going to react. I don't know what he's going to do, and that's the way I like it.
Attackers, take a position. Attack! Attack!
going to do now is something that you won't see in many martial arts schools. You don't even see this in police training. But it's something I like to work on with my students because you could end up in this position. What I'm going to do is I'm going to lay face down on the ground. Maybe someone tripped me, somebody knocked me down, and now I have this big gorilla on top of me punching my head. How do you get out of something like this? So I'll take you step by step. First of all, I'm going to lay down on the ground. He's going to get on top of me however he wants. And he's holding me down. This is a type of hold. And of course, his intention is to knock my head in, whatever. I'm in a bad situation. And if he has even more of his weight on me, I can't really move. So what I need to do is I need to turn over. Now, as he's hitting, of course, I'm going to guard myself for a second. But then I shoot my arm out as fast as I can. Then immediately sweep away. This gets him off balance. Now I don't want to fight him. I want to roll the opposite way, get to my weapon, and move out of the situation. Now we're going to try it one more time. 3/4 speed. He can do whatever he wants. I don't tell my attacker what to do. All I tell him to do is get on top of me, do whatever you can do, and it's my problem to get out of it. So I get myself in a vulnerable situation right here. I don't know what he's going to do. And now he's attacking me. Now I can use my feet, whatever, turn, get out of the situation, and back off to a safe distance. Okay, we're going to do the same thing. And again, this time Ruben is going to lay his whole body over me, do whatever he wants. I don't care what he does. The principles are always going to be the same. Whether it's Chris laying on top, whether it's someone closer to my weight, the main thing is we just do it and we see if it works. Again, the principle is you can't fight facing the ground. So the best thing you can do is quickly get out of it the fastest you can. You have too much weight on you, the thing you have to do is throw an arm out. That will create his center of gravity to shift a little bit. Keep rolling, get out of it, and then just do what you can to fight. I mean, that's as simple as it gets. When he gets on top of me, you do not want to push up. Because a push-up, okay, it might work a little bit, but not on somebody who's big like Chris. So pushing up is not good because now you're not getting out of the situation. And he may cut you, he may do a lot of things. So right away, he's on top of me and he's fighting. Throw the arm out and switch. Now obviously from here, I can move away and then I can start shooting whatever the situation is. I didn't know what he was going to do, but I was able to escape. Okay, again, let's take it one more step up, and this time he's going to reach around and try to choke me. Again, a very vulnerable situation, but one that could happen to any police officer or any martial artist fighting on the ground. Now, what I want to do is when he grabs me, I have to, open my airway. So turn your neck, don't turn this way because it's worse. Always turn into the bend of his arm and tuck your chin as tight as you can. Then grab his arm like so. Now, all you have to do is rotate. And you want to rotate wherever you feel he's the weakest. So we're here, go tight, here, and now he only has one hand to grab. So now I can do anything I want. Release him, push away from him, get to your weapon, get out of there. Or if you're a martial artist, you have no weapon, you have no knife, no gun, run as fast as you can and get to a secure area. So that concludes this video and the techniques on choke holds and holds. I hope you learned a lot. Remember, whenever you're practicing this, and I can't emphasize this enough, whenever you are practicing with the neck, go slow. You do not want injuries. It is so simple to hurt somebody accidentally. So always take your time. It's not real combat. Now, one day when someone does grab you around the neck, that is somebody trying to kill you. And I can't read people's minds, so anyone who puts their hands around my throat to try to choke me, to me, they're trying to kill me. And I use lethal force. And any police department in the world will authorize this if this is the situation. Now, if someone tries to hold you, obviously lethal force may not apply. You may just try to get out of it, impact force, whatever. If you're interested in learning more on the system that I teach for police tactics or for civilian tactics, just go to my website, www.jimwagnertraining.com, and hopefully you'll learn some more techniques. Until then, next video, I'll be doing some more stuff.